What's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys, let's start the story with a quickie political segment. You don't want to hear it, y'all can just, we'll put it at the beginning so it'll be easy to pass on through. I ain't got too much to say. I just wanted to talk to you guys about the Department of Defense and the shit that they tried to pull yesterday. Did you guys see that Department of Defense claims that their computers were doing like a DEI swipe of like their whole system? They wanted to make sure that anything that was represented on their website that might have had some DEI claims in it, that they was going to be wiped away. And we know that Jackie Robinson was the first black baseball player that played in the major league, right? Not only did he be the first black baseball player that played in the major league, or if he wasn't the first, he was one of them. Okay, y'all, I didn't go and check up on exactly what Jackie was doing, okay? But he also was a soldier. He was in the military at one time. He fought for this country, everything. So he had a whole spread on the Department of Defense's website, you know, explaining his story, telling his story, and, you know, why we have looked up to him as one of our legendary ones that have paved the way and opened the doors for many, many other black, not just baseball players, but sports players, period. Okay? These niggas tried to take that shit down and put up, it had an error message. If you tried to go look up Jackie Robinson on the Department of Defense yesterday, it had an error message. So I guess this is just y'all now trying to erase history. I mean, this shit did happen. The fact that you guys are trying to say that this was a DEI, that the computers thought it was a DEI related story, is bullshit to me. I mean, maybe the computers did think that, but what I'm saying when I say bullshit is that it wasn't no fucking DEI back in the day. They didn't have no fucking affirmative action and all that going on back in the day. This was a man who they could not deny had the talent, who needed to be out there because they needed him on the team. And they made the exception to the rule and allowed him to play. But it's not like they just gave him that job and that there were other people better than him, you know? So this is a problem. And no, you're not fixing to just take away all of our wins and the things that we did and nobody gonna say nothing. Honey, them people put up an uproar yesterday and they hurried up and put that shit back up, talking about it was a mistake or that it was just the computers and, you know, it wasn't a human that was reading through and getting rid of all. I don't give a fuck. But these are the kind of things that are worrisome, because if you're not paying attention, somebody caught that. That wasn't they tried to do that quietly. Somebody caught it. But how many times, where are they doing that other places that people aren't catching this kind of shit, you know? That could be happening anywhere, and because you can't be 15,000 places at one time, you might not never know it. See, that's the thing. This administration, child, I'm telling you. That junk drawer is something else. But yeah, WhatsApp been out there pissing the people off this week. Let's see what else he did. He done sent the damn criminals. He said that these Venezuelan guys was criminals and sent them to some jail and sent them to some place where they should not be. Didn't send them back to their home. Sent them somewhere else, like as if dropping off a blood in the middle of like Crip gang territory. That's what they did with these particular gentlemen. Dropped them off in Venezuela somewhere, even though the courts had ordered them not to do it. Do you know WhatsApp told that judge he don't give a fuck and he gonna do whatever he want to do, and still went against it? So now we just going against judge orders. He said he gonna do what the fuck he want to do. He don't give a fuck. He now getting rid of Department of Education. I'm sorry, y'all. I know this is just my opinions of things now, because politics, you know, I'm not fixing to be getting notes together and doing all that. I just don't feel like it. But I saw he dismantling the Board of Education this week. He done sent the people off there to Venezuela to get killed in the jails. He Don't give a fuck what the judges tell him to do. You know, he took the security detail off of the Biden, Hunter Biden and his wife, I think it was. I mean, just do whatever he want to do, and don't know about it. Just like, where does it get stopped? If you're not gonna listen to the judges, they gonna have to do something else to this man, because he has no one can control anything. You have checks and balances that has run this country for hundreds of years, and he come in here and do whatever the fuck he want to do. Okay, that's y'all stupid ass president. Enough on politics. Let's move on to the next story. Monique has posted her newest requiem, okay, where she's requesting to know why Tyler Perry has not apologized to her for blacklisting her back after Precious. You guys all know the story. I don't need to recap all of that. You guys remember they had told us at one point that they all said that they were going to apologize to her. However, they all did not apologize. When I say they all, I'm talking about Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey. They were supposed to, we were told that they were going to apologize, but I don't know who it was that said that they were going to apologize. Lee Daniels did end up apologizing. Him and Monique mended the fences, and now they are ace boon coons, and she's working in his movies and all of that, right? Tyler was supposed to be saying that I think Oprah said she ain't doing shit. Okay, so bitch, get out my face with it. But Tyler must have said that he was going to, but he never did it. So at any chance that Monique gets now, if she see Tyler out there saying something, she gonna find a way to ask him, where's my apology? So this time we had Tyler Perry, who spoke at Angela Laverne, what was her last name? It's not Stone, but Angie Laverne's funeral the other day. Side note, Kiki Wyatt, and I mean Kiki Wyatt this time. Let me tell you something. When that bitch sang, I'm gonna tell y'all, if I were to check on up out of here suddenly, I would want one of you guys to work really hard. Somebody out there has to know Kiki Wyatt. I want y'all to get her and have her sing at my funeral. I want her to sing at my funeral. When she sang at Angie Stone's funeral, you guys, when I'm talking about the tears, the whole time I watched her sing, I was like this. I had to catch myself, because I was like, ooh, the way that girl sings with the grit in her, the whole everything in her voice, it's amazing to me what she can do with her voice. It is amazing to me. She is probably one of the most outstanding singers to me ever. Like, I just sat there and I was like, I want her to sing at my funeral. I want her to sing at my funeral, y'all. Anyway, but hope that, not that we asking for that shit, okay? Bitch wants to be here into her 80s and 90s. I feel like I can, because my daddy is 88 and he's still doing really well. My dad's side of the family lived real long. My mother's side, not as much. Okay, so I hope I got my dad's genes. But anyway, getting back to it. So when Tyler was at the funeral, he was talking about how people been playing in Angie's face all this time, and that these record labels had not been giving her royalties the way that they were supposed to. And, you know, he was just making a point, like, you need to pay these people, you need to do say what you was gonna do, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Well, Monique and her man, her daddy, they was at the house, and they heard that, and they was like, well, wait a minute, hold on now. Oh, you feel like this about Angie, but what about when you were supposed to tell me, sorry? So that is when Monique and her husband penned this letter to Tyler Perry. And, I would have read it to you, but I didn't put it in my notes. But, basically, she just was just like, now, where's my apology? Why you sitting up here condemning all of the record labels to not paying this woman? Okay, but where's my apology? All right. Then she brings up how she promoted, or she was asked to promote Precious, but you know, she wasn't paid for it and all that. And we ain't getting into all that shit again, y'all. Basically, I was disappointed. First of all, Monique is gonna never drop that. All right. And I've accepted that. So anytime that Monique has a chance that she's gonna bring that up, she will. So I've accepted that. I just hate that Monique did that during Angie Stone's grieving time. Like Tyler was talking about Angie and all of those things, and Monique used this moment because everybody is still in the whole, oh, Tyler Perry did a great speech there. She used that moment with Angie to kind of like darken it to me. You know, it's just like in poor taste. Like, this woman just died and you sitting up here talking about some fucking money and this apology and all this. That's such poor taste. You could have did all of that. Everybody would have remembered what Tyler said, and you could have waited a few months. That's all you had to do. But she gonna say it. So everybody trying to tell Monique she need to get over it and all that kind of shit, she not. It is not a thing that's going to ever get over. She is going to always bring it up. She's going to always say it. And if I was Tyler Perry, I would never give it to her. Never. Because at this point, you done got on my fucking nerves. And I don't give a fuck if I did say I was going to say sorry. I'm not saying it. Because you going to just keep on with this shit, getting on everybody's nerves, then you just keep on saying it. Okay? And I'm going to keep on being over here writing these old terrible ass TV shows that everybody watch and movies that everybody watch on every fucking streaming service. He not just on Netflix. He on Amazon. He on BET. He on a whole bunch of shit. Right? I would never give her the time. I would never. And she was just can go to her grave knowing that sorry that you was expecting from me, it is never coming. I bet you that's exactly how they feel. Okay? They just pay Monique dust. And Monique brings all this out, and then everybody be like, go on, girl, tell him what he said. Say it. To me, you got to pick your battles and what's going to give you the most peace. Okay? I don't care what anybody say. Monique is not at peace until she gets those. You see how relieved she was when Lee Daniels told her sorry? She's not going to ever feel settled until she gets that, and they not going to give it to her. So this going to be just the rest of her life of just her frustrating herself and subjecting us all to it every now, every few years when this kind of stuff come up. Okay? Y'all let me know what you think about it, though. Monique has some points. Definitely has some points. There's certain things that she said that I agree with. Other parts that I don't agree with. Yes, absolutely they blackballed her. But I also think that she was, she keeps saying that she was labeled difficult. To them, she was difficult, So it's not a label. They actually felt that, and they expressed it. And that's it. Anyway, child, y'all let me know what you think about all that. We gonna get on to the next story. Okay, you guys, let's talk about Teyana Taylor, who came out yesterday and did a 45-minute video that she said was gonna be quick. But it was 45 minutes of her talking about her divorce from Iman Shumpert. Now, you guys, I told you guys, actually, I'm gonna put a clip in here. And you guys are gonna see. I told you back when this divorce was finalized, back in June of last year, I explained to you, let me put it in here exactly what I said. Take a look. Okay. Now, this was another relationship that I was rooting for. I think a lot of black people was rooting for this relationship. They seemed like they truly loved each other. We had heard the whole story about him helping her give birth to the baby in the closet and all that firstborn little girl, Junie, I think is her name. And, yeah, I just thought that they were like perfect for each other. They just seemed to be very happy with each other. And I mean, they was having their threesomes and she seemed to be happy and he was happy, and a child, they just thought it was all good. But now they finalized the divorce. Okay. But anyways, they said that the Fulton County judge that oversaw the private filing, she filed this back in 2023. It was a private filing. She didn't want anybody to know anything about it. And so she just used their initials. All right. But then we found out shortly after that Iman Shumpert as he was responding to the filing, he let it be known that they were getting a divorce and really kind of blew the whole top off the thing. And then it became like public. Now everybody knew that these two was trying to get a divorce. Okay. She didn't ever really comment on it. She was just like, I never have commented. I haven't talked to anybody about it. No publications, nothing. So the fact that now everybody knows is because he's the one that said it. Like, I was trying to keep the shit cool and quiet. But yeah, they finally have finalized their divorce, and this is what they're saying. They said they divided many of their assets and figured out the child support terms. There's going to be a 7-figure payment, a one-time 7-figure payment. Now, if you 7 figures is at least $1 million. She's going to be able to keep 4 marital properties with an appropriate $10 million value, approximate. Child, I can't even read my own typing. Approximate $10 million value. They said that Iman is going to keep a Miami condo. He has estates here in South Georgia and in Decatur. They say that Iman Shumpert will pay $8,000 a month, and that's to cover the girls' private school. And pretty much they both kept their own personal assets. Okay. So it wasn't too messy of a divorce. It was just more of him talking. But I think that everybody looked like they was able to come to a pretty fair situation. I think that Teyana was trying to be fair and quiet the whole time. She didn't want no whole big old mess. She didn't want no scandal or anything. She was just trying to get out of it. Iman had looked like he had gotten his feelings for a while and was trying to say shit and make her look away. But at the end of the day, I guess they decided to try to put the messiness aside and try to just get this thing done. Didn't take that long, and good for them. So Teyana and Iman are both free people right now. Yes. So the reason why I wanted you guys to see that, to remind you of what I said back then, is because we all knew what the terms of the divorce was back when it happened. It was on social media. I told you guys in the top of the blog's video. Okay. Well, fast forward to last week, I remember seeing that her mother was defending her on social media to somebody. I didn't pay attention to it enough to see who she was talking to, but her mom was just like, please, everybody in that divorce went away with what they came in with. Okay. She didn't take him for all his money. That's what the mother was saying. I didn't pay attention to it, but I do remember seeing that. Well, now fast forward to this week, Teyana's explaining to us that apparently it had then got out some kind of way, for right now, some kind of way that Teyana took all this money from Iman and like did him in and did all this. And so people were actually commenting on it and saying how, you know, like that shit was fucked up and she shouldn't have did that to him. And that's supposed to be the love of her, you know, that was her husband at the time and her kid's father and blah, 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 blah. And something, it had then got to the point where it was saying, people, the blogs were saying that Teyana Taylor wanted him to be put in jail because he was leaking information from the divorce that was sealed. It was supposed to be sealed, I guess. And so she came out and was like, I ain't never said I wanted that man to go to jail. I have never really said nothing. I have tried to protect him throughout this whole process. Remember, she never filed their actual names. He's the one that filed for their full names, and he wanted all that information. Anyway, you guys, long story short, I sat there and watched that video, and even though it was 45 minutes long, it took me 5 minutes to realize that what she was telling us basically was that Iman was jealous of her. Okay, and you hear about it happening many times. Spouses can be jealous of their spouse. You know, so when they were together, I mean, Teyana Taylor is she kind of reminds me of a lot of the Kiki Shepherd's ways. You know, like she's the woman right now. She's the it girl right now. Everybody loves Teyana Taylor. She's talented, you know, and she can act and she can sing and she can dance and she can direct and she can, you know, choreograph. She has all these things that she's able to do and she can do them well, you know. And she had a husband who was just but he was a basketball player. And when he wasn't renewed, his contract wasn't renewed, or he was hurt, or whatever the case was, but he wasn't playing basketball no more, you know, they were together. And so she was like, this my man, this my husband. I know all of the talents that he has, because Iman Shumpert is talented. So she was like, I 100% believe that this woman was the one that was pushing him to realize his potential. You can look at her and tell and be like, baby, they not fixing to fucking play in your face. I'm going to get you a job. I'm going to call around. I'm going to see. She said she called Lena and was like, you know, my man is bigger than this basketball shit and he need a job. And, you know, they wrote his character in on The Shy, and, you know, then he was rapping, and then he was on Dancing with the Stars and all that, you know, and then he was becoming into his own stardom. But there's nothing wrong with your wife being the one to help you into that. You know, you guys are a team. So yeah, baby, if I got these connections, then I'm gonna make sure that, you know, I'm trying to help you out too, and vice versa, right? But that's not how it was working. As long as they were together, he was gonna take advantage of that. And side note, we ain't gonna never forget all of them fucking blind items and all that shit that they were saying that that nigga was running her crazy over there. To the point where she was even in the hospital. Remember that time? And remember, she would come out and be like, it was nothing having to do with that. And y'all stop, you know, stop gossiping about my family and all that. And it's no problems over here. But she was protecting him because Iman was doing shit over there and about driving that poor girl crazy. Because as much as she loved Iman, I was shocked to know that they were going through a divorce. But I guess she was just like, nigga, wait a minute. Okay? I forgot who I was for a hot second, but bitch, you ain't fixing it. I am Teyana Taylor. So no, we're not going through this. Okay? But in the midst of all that, she was still trying to keep it all very cordial. And she thought that everything was cordial. Even after the divorce was finalized, we found out what everybody got, which was basically they split. They kept what they came in with, because they both had their own money when they came, so they left with both of their own money and all that too. You know, there was $1 million payment, but other than that, you know. And she said that, you know, she calls him and, hey, baby daddy. She's like, we call each other baby daddy and baby mama. She's like, there's no problems or nothing. She said, and I talk to him and it's fine. But then I turn around and people are saying, you know, I did all this to him. She was like, so I asked him, like, hey, baby daddy, like, listen. These people out here saying all kind of crazy shit. Like men out there saying, like, you know, if she would have took me for all that I had, you know, I'd beat that bitch ass or I'd kill her. Like, if I was him, I would do this. And she was like, you know, I'm not feeling safe out here. Like, you think you could say something? Like, do a bitch a solid. And he told her he thought that him being silent was helping her, because he's not adding to the gossip and the fodder that's out there. But she was just like, no. You staying silent is really silently confirming what the people are. As soon as she was saying that kind of stuff, I was like, oh girl, he jealous of you. He wants people to look at you like that. Okay? He not gonna never say nothing bad. He gonna leak all the shit to make you look bad, and then he gonna let everybody else talk about you, and that's his get back towards you. Okay? We have seen it happen. I have seen this happen with couples before, you know, and yeah, he's jealous of her because she's gone on after they got that divorce. I guess he thought that he was just going to slow her down. You know, she got 2 kids. She trying to do all this. She ain't going to be able to do all this, but you can guess what? She said she working on 3 movies and a damn, got an album or a show or something. She working on all this shit. Single mama, handling it, but feeling like she thought she was on the team still with Iman, like this is still my family, even though we not together, you know, we got kids together, and like just thinking that the mutual respect was going to be there. But what she said was, some people are okay with looking bad if it makes the other person look worse. And that's where they are. He is jealous of her. That's the ego that's going on there. He wants her to look worse, but he knows he can't never really say nothing bad about her because she did do him right. So he gonna take the I ain't gonna say shit route and let her be out here fighting for her fucking life and just be quiet. And that's the way that he gets back at her. Yeah, child, this is an old play. This is an old play. It made me sad for her though, because you could tell she was just like, I don't want this. Like, this is too much. I don't even want to be on here right now telling all this. And we've never seen her to be the type that be coming out every time something happened on the damn social media telling her business and all that. She's never been that way, So yeah, that's the gist of it. But when she was talking about all that, I was just like, I mean, it's obvious that this man is jealous. He said he's just not gonna say nothing, and he just gonna let you keep on having to fight everybody and all that. No, that nigga jealous. Which is too bad, because I've liked Iman. And like I said, I think that he's talented too. But, you don't never win when you play dirty. Ain't that what Nene said? What time is it, y'all? Oh, got too many more minutes left. Let me hurry up. But did you guys watch the video? Y'all go on and watch the video, what she said. And y'all let me know what you think about it. But yeah, I was just like, girl, that's all it is. And then when we saw he has an album, or he has some music coming out. So she was like, every time he has something that's coming out, in order to bring more attention to his projects or whatever, then we get to be hearing leaks about this divorce shit. So that's how she knows that it's probably him and his lawyer, or him or his lawyer, But then when those pictures leaked of her with Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. When she was in those pictures, that probably really set Iman off. Okay, because here is another tall, good looking, everybody love him like man of the hour right now, and he in a picture with your fucking ex-wife. Okay? And the fact that she said, can I get my back blown out in peace? I know I wasn't the only one wondering who was blowing that back out. And if it might have been Aaron, even though they keep on saying this man married, like, I need somebody to tell me for sure, like, what is he? He must not be married. He can't be married. But she didn't say Aaron Pierre, so I'm not going to say that that's who she's getting her backbone out by. But I sure hope so, because wouldn't that be something? I mean, if he was single. Teyana, you going to be all right. You just got to know how this nigga's moving now. And she's smart enough. I'm sure she does. But he is the reason that you going through all this. He wants you to. He's not protecting you. He's not trying to make you safe. But you know that already. All right. Next story. And child, while we talking about couples, I guess congratulations are in order to Megan Good and Jonathan Majors. Child, they say that these two have tied the knot. They say that Jonathan Majors was on Sherry Shepherd's show on Tuesday and that he confirmed it. First he said his girlfriend, I think, and then he said his wife. And he actually said that they're married. They got married on Tuesday. It was just him, her, and I think both of their mothers. I think one of the mothers married them, and then the other mother was the witness. And I mean, listen, they've been together. They seem to like and love each other. So I mean, if they like it, I love it. He's so weird. Like, he's the way he talks is weird. I almost feel like he might have been, this is so awful to say, and I'm trying to figure out if this is going to be offensive and if I should say it. Him on Sherry Shepherd and all that crying and shit, I wish you would stop that. You can really express that you love somebody without all this goddamn breaking down and everything. It feels very performative. And even though you may really feel it, it just don't come across right. And then he told, I love that lady. I love that lady. She done been there with everything. I mean, she done been there from the top when I was feeling good to crying on the couch, and I was just like, oh, I can imagine what the fuck kind of dramatics that crying on the couch shit would be. Oh, I was like, Megan, I mean, you sure this is, I mean, she obviously loves the man. I'm just hoping, he's just weird. I've had a special place for the nerd or the geeky kind of guy because they're charming to me, and I have some nerdy, geeky kind of ways too. So, I don't just write off the nerds and the geeks and the weirdos. They don't all just get written off, right? But he is just odd. And he just talks strange. Well, my Coretta, and you not gonna be my Coretta. I need somebody that's gonna be my Coretta Scott. Who says that kind of shit? speaking of Coretta Scott conversation, you guys saw that they released the text audio. They released the text of the audio of Jonathan and the Grace Jabari girl talking on the phone, or no, maybe it was text messages. No, I think it was text of the audio. And he was just like, I don't know what happens to me, but I always, I have a feeling to aggress you when I'm around you. And she was like, aggress me. He was like, yes. She was like, you mean when you choked me? And he was like, yes, I just get that feeling of aggress when I aggress you. But this motherfucker like some goddamn Shakespeare. like, who talks like that child anyway? I mean, it would be concerning to me if my daughter got married to somebody who just very recently had domestic violence issues, I would be concerned about that, because it's just like, I'm not saying that people can't be rehabilitated and people can't do what they need to do to change and all that, and let's pray that he has, but it's just like, it's just a little too close, okay? And we don't know if the niggas, they ain't been long enough for us to know the nigga might have a real bad day one day and want to go. I mean, maybe he's not child. I don't know. All I know is he is an odd bird, and Megan seems to like the odd bird types. Okay, I just wonder what they're like together, like in their own environment and everything. Like, do they have fun and all? I mean, she looks like she does have fun with them, because they be dancing, doing all this. And she just be over there just sweet and dance and enjoying herself. I was just like, girl, if you like it, I love it. But odd couple, but hey, better her than me. Okay, so congratulations to the couple, and let's move on to the next story. Lastly, you guys, in quickies, Candy was on, I think, her Amazon Live the other day, and she let it out the bag that Portia and Shamia, they don't fuck with each other like that no more. However, they just kind of faking the funk for the show so the storyline itself can play out. I think that we already kind of knew that, or we had an idea, because I've told you guys in the past why I've felt like that there may have been some little rumblings in the friendship anyway. But yeah, Candy did let it be known that they don't really fuck with each other, and we just gotta wait and see as the show goes on. I mean, I understand why they wouldn't, because you got to be blind to to not see how Portia kind of looks at Shamia as that friend that, as long as I'm ahead of the friend, then that's still my friend, but I'm still the one. And then that's kind of being in the Shamia been in the shadows all this time, and now that Shamia is kind of out them shadows, I don't know where that places their friendship. But we'll see that it's going to be on the show, because we've seen previews of these two having to sit down, and I think they said at the second half of the season they not really fucking with each other like that. So it's going to happen earlier in the season, and we'll see. But yeah, not surprising at all. Young Ma spoke out. Oh, I didn't get nobody's mama named him this week. But Young Ma spoke out recently. She had an ex who leaked a video of her when she was in the hospital. You guys know that Young Ma, she was like all over everywhere at one point, and then she kind of disappeared off the scene. And that was because she was like addicted to alcohol and drugs, and it was getting to a point where it was just out of control, and she was going to be dead if she didn't do something about it. So she stopped rapping, and she decided to put herself first and take care of herself. Now she's sober and clean, but I think that because of those drugs and alcohol, that it had actually affected her body. Like I think that she has medical issues, okay, that stemmed from her being on drugs. So it's been harder for her to just come back. I don't know if she's ever gonna come back rapping or whatever she's doing, but she's trying to just be over there and live her life and trying to be good. Well, her girl broke up, and so now the ex released some videos of her, or released a video of her when she was like high. I'm talking about high as a kite. She was at the hospital. She had all of these tubes and shit in her, And, you know, she was just like, I mean, you can tell she was out of it. And it's just a look that you don't want to have of yourself on the internet. Okay. We know internet is forever. And when she gets to be grown, and she might have her own family or something, like, you don't want that kind of shit out there for your kids to see. So, you know, Young Ma just was like, there's nothing I can really say or do about it. It's out there. But I had already told you guys that that's what I was dealing with. So people already knew. So it wasn't really a shock. And the ex was posting it trying to embarrass her because they were fighting and whatever. Certain things is just certain things, even a motherfucker can piss you off so bad. But if you caught yourself being in love with somebody at one time, I don't know how certain things you can just release and let people know. Okay? Like, it's just certain things, it seems like you would keep that because, yeah, I don't fuck with them no more. But I mean, damn, I don't hate them. I loved them at one time. I might still love them. So I'm not going to be putting their worst shit out there for them. If somebody is able to do that to you to embarrass you, I feel like they don't really love you. Okay? Because that is something that's not only just embarrassing, but it's just like, that shit, you don't want people to be seeing that kind of thing, you know? So my advice to Young Ma is, girl, just keep on living your life. You know, it would have been worse if you was still on drugs now, but you know, you coming out on the other side, you know, maybe she's still battling some things, but she looked way better than she has in the past. Girl, you have a testimony. And yeah, I mean, just look at that video like, okay, now you guys can see like where I came from and where I am today. So maybe that's how you need to look at this story, and don't worry about that ex. You know, the shit was wrong. The ex shouldn't have did that. Okay. Muni Long was asked to sing at the iHeart Awards show the other day, and she was actually pegged to sing "We Belong Together" by Mariah Carey in the Mariah Carey tribute that was done. Now, you guys know who Muni Long is, and if you guys know her voice and her tone, the girl can sing. I mean, she's a phenomenal writer. She can sing. She can do all of those things. However, Muni Long doesn't have a Mariah Carey voice. I mean, their tones is different. It's just a different thing. I mean, if she needed to sing a Mariah Carey song, she gonna be able to sing the song, but it ain't gonna sound like Mariah Carey, and it's not gonna be all of their voice inflections, and not gonna do all of that, because nobody can really sing like Mariah Carey. And that's pretty much what Muni Long told us when she had to come to internet and let people know, like, why is everybody snickling and sniggering and giggling and saying how horrible it was that she performed Mariah Carey's song? She's like, first of all, I didn't ask to sing the song. She was like, Mariah Carey actually asked me personally, would I do the song? She was like, I wouldn't choose. What fool out there would choose to do a Mariah Carey song? Nobody can sing like Mariah Carey. She was like, but you know, of course I was honored. She asked me to do it, so I did it. And she said I did it to the best of my ability, and she enjoyed it. But the problem is, on the internet, was going around is, the camera panned to Mariah Carey, who was sitting on the edge of her chair in the audience watching the tribute. And when the camera panned to her, it happened to be right at the time where she kind of looked over at Anderson .Paak, who there's rumored to say that these two are dating. I think it's pretty clear that these two are dating at this point, right? Which is still a strange little couple to me, because she's always like old niggas. So it's like where he came, with the exception of Nick. But anyway, so she kind of looks over at him, you know, and she kind of has that look that Mariah Carey look can have, you know, kind of was looking like the same look that Prince had when Trey Songz was singing. So we was feeling like Mariah might have been Prince and Trey Songz to Muni. But after I looked at that video again, I was just like, maybe she was not making a face at Anderson as if to say Muni sounds horrible, because she didn't sound bad. She just didn't sound like Mariah, okay? I think really Mariah was looking over at Anderson, who was over there grooving and shit. And she probably looked at him like, nigga, too much. Like, nigga, you doing too much. This song is slow. What the fuck you doing all this dancing and move? She looked like she was aggravated at the fact that he was doing all of this. But the camera caught it, and it actually looked like she was looking over him like, oh my God, can you believe they have this girl singing? So I think that that's what it is. Y'all get off Money Long's back. I love Money Long. I think she is supremely talented. When she wrote that little short story about her and her husband breaking up, I was like, girl, write the book. I will read it. I will buy it. I will read it. Phenomenal writer. Great writer. Okay? So, yeah. Money Long was like, get off my fucking back. I only sang the dang song because she asked me to. And lastly, you guys, I know I've been saying that I'm trying to love Kanye West from a distance. But I'm going to tell you what. Kanye is trash. Like, I can't with Kanye no more. There goes the fire engine. There it is. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is there. Engine number 22, just in case you wanted to know. Somebody needs to whoop his ass. That's the only way that this shit that he be on is gonna stop. He thinks he's invincible. He thinks he can say whatever and do whatever and nothing ever happens to him. He don't do illegal shit. He just run that fucking mouth. This last thing that he said, though, about Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids was so disgusting to me. I was just like, who says these kind of things about people's kids? You have your own kids. Would you want somebody saying these kind of things about your kids? You would be ready to fight somebody. Okay, now we know Jay-Z and Beyonce is not the type that's going to come back out in any kind of public way and say anything, but you best believe they trying to figure out what the fuck they can do to this nigga right now, and I'm here for it. Because you don't say that kind of shit about people's kids. I don't know what's going on with Kanye. Like, Kanye, we ain't going to put this shit off on no bipolarism. We not going to say it's no manic, depressive, that he's going through a manic state. We gonna say that this nigga craves and lives and dies for attention and has to get it any way that he can. We've been dealing with Kanye's antics, child. I done typed out the fucking antics that I can think about. We knew that he had a fight with Drake. I mean, him and Drake was beefing. Okay? I think that Kanye wishes the way his beef with Drake would have gone the way that it did for Kendrick. Okay? But it didn't. So when Kendrick and Drake started beefing, Kanye at first was trying to take the route of, excuse me. Kanye was trying to take the route of, I like Kendrick's music and, he gonna do this and he need to do this at the Super Bowl. And all that week before the Super Bowl, he had Kendrick's name in his mouth. Every time you turned around, it was Kendrick and 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 Kendrick. Okay? Then after the Super Bowl, because we was all so excited about the Super Bowl, after that was done, then all of a sudden he said he hate Kendrick's music. And he not gonna do, so that was that. Then we saw him on his website. He's selling shirts with the swastika on it, and he's talking about I love Hitler and white lives matter, and just all kind of shit that's super offensive. And it's just it's so easy to see that this is somebody that is spiraling, that just wants you to look at him. Okay, like, hey mom, look what I can do. But his mom's not here any longer. We also not gonna let that be the excuse. Okay? Because this nigga is grown enough. And yes, you never get over your mama dying. I know that firsthand. That don't give you no fucking excuse to be out here calling people's kids these names and saying what you said, which was just really completely disgusting. Disgusting. Now he got a damn song with Puffy and the Child North. And Kim pissed about it because Kim was like, I have custody of these kids. I mean, not custody, but she has the say over their imprint. Whatever is put online, she's the one that makes the final decision. And I'm assuming that means like entertainment, music, all of that kind of stuff. Like, she's the one, but Kanye went behind her back and put the girl on the song with Puffy. I think Puffy was on a phone call with her. Now all of a sudden, Puffy is Kanye's best friend. We know that Puffy's trial is coming up. So now it's like Puffy on the phone with Kanye and telling Kanye, like, you know, King, first just let me get out, King, and we gonna work together. Man, when by the time if Puffy do get out of jail, Kanye ain't gonna have no words for his ass, because he don't want to be friends with Puffy. We ain't never seen Puffy and Kanye even hang out together. And I feel like if Kanye ever did say anything about Puffy, it probably was something on the lines that he didn't even like him back in the day. You know, I could be wrong, but what I'm saying is just like, this ain't even a quickie, but I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm done with Kanye. Still listen to his old music, but I can't get with this. I can't get with him. I can't get with him. That seeing that really did disgust me. Because I was just like, ain't no way. You know, somebody say some shit about your kids, you ready to fucking kill somebody. Okay? Ugh. So, and they can't keep on telling me that he doing all this to get Jay-Z's attention because he feels like, you know, he misses him and he want his relationship with his brother. Nigga, ain't nobody, the more you do this shit, that's the furthest, you gonna keep on pushing yourself further and further away from him because nobody wants to deal with you. Nobody wants to deal with Kanye. So instead of you just saying, hey, I miss our friendship, I miss this, that. I mean, first of all, it's too much water under the bridge. But instead of him just saying something along those lines of like, I really want us to try to work on us, you know, he got to be acting a fucking fool out here to try to get somebody attention. I'm going to tell you, the best way to not get my attention is to say that my kids are the R word. Like, I'm done, dust. You never will talk to me again. Ever. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they are not going to deal with Kanye no more. But they going to deal with him. We going to see. We might not never know what it was, but he going to get dealt with, y'all. But, yeah, he need his ass whooped. And then maybe he'll be shut up then. But, yeah, awful. I couldn't believe he said that, y'all. Just terrible. All right, you guys, I'm about to run in the Panda and get me something to eat and take it on back to work. We're a little bit over the lunch break. So I got to hurry up, you guys. We do this every single week. So make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars.